Hi, my name is Kelley Alexander, and I'm the program director at the Sanctuary at Sedona. And I wanted just to take a moment and tell you a little bit about myself and my own personal journey at the Sanctuary. I've been here almost 18 years, and I have to tell you, it's been the most amazing 2 decades of my life. I was on a very different trajectory 20 years ago. I was married, I was a lawyer, I was living in San Francisco. And I have to tell you, I had at that time what I now lovingly refer to as my spiritual awakening, but it looked a lot like a nervous breakdown at the time. I looked good on paper, everything seemed to be going all right, but all of a sudden I became pretty much non-functional. A friend of mine used to say it was like I was the walking dead. I was unable to truly engage with my life, and it was a really scary moment for myself because I didn't know why. I'd done lots of therapy in my life. I was very much kind of mainstream. I did a lot of prescription medications and a lot of talk therapies, and I could tell you about my issues. And yet, for some reason, my life sort of came to a complete halt at that time. Fortunately, I was able to take some time off, and I went on a real search for health and wellness. And during that time, I discovered things that I never knew existed, this whole holistic world. And of course, holistic does not mean just alternative. It just means the whole. And I found out all about my subconscious and mind. I became a student of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I ended up going to energy medicine schools, which I didn't even know about, and became a student of Dr. Alberto Villoldo. It's where I met Dean Taraborelli. I ended up learning all about gut health. I ended up learning things I never knew that were actually the core issues, a lot of what was going on in my life at that time. And most importantly, I got reconnected to what I call my soul. Other people might call it their authentic self, their higher self, that part of you that longs for meaning and purpose in your life, that wants that sense of connection and joy. And through that process, I came home. I came home to myself, and all these issues that had been stalking me all my life, my own fears, my sense of unworthiness, defectiveness, the shame that I carried, the guilt I carried from my own history of childhood sexual abuse, and my own depression and anxiety that I had managed or tried to manage most of my life. I felt like I was free. It was sort of that old cliche of feeling born again. So at that time, I had met Dean, and he was out here doing this amazing thing and creating the sanctuary, and wore the poor guy down so that he would finally let me come and be part of all of this. And that, like I said, that was 18 years ago. And since then, I've lived and I've worked here, and I've certainly had plenty of trainings and different various educations and classes, and worked with incredible teachers. And I'm certainly glad I did that. But I would say that my greatest gift at the sanctuary is just the fact that I have lived and worked here for 18 years. I have gone through my own process. I understand when people come here what's happening for them. We continue to do our own work while we're here. Being able to create a community of love and safety and kindness in a beautiful surroundings outside of Sedona, Arizona. So just feel such an honor to be able to be of service in any way that I can, and to be able to participate in this process and be able to work with the amazing clients that come here that become part of our community.